Yo guys, what is going on today? It is Mark here. Welcome back to some more Black Ops 7 Zombies. I know, first off, I have been away for a very long time. I think I covered it in a live video I uploaded soon, but I haven't uploaded actually consistently to the channel here in a very long time because life has gotten in the way. I wouldn't say getting in the way actually, just life in general. So, got married a few months ago, moved, didn't have the best internet. Was living in an RV before we found an apartment to move into. Finally got things settled down, school starting back up for the kids, things like that. And as life is slowing down, we're getting through the swing of things here as I move to a new state. I'm actually having some time to play. So actually in the last couple of days, xXTheSkipperZz, as of right now, comes out tomorrow at the time of recording this video. And I was behind on Paradox, on Totenreich, and Kawakukujo. And I had to do all of those Easter eggs, and I did it within a week span. Just like what I normally do is I went and played the map, got a feel for it, then the Easter egg first try, other than Kawakujo, which is the only one I needed help with because I didn't understand the steps, and I was just trying to rush through these Easter eggs to make sure I got it done. And actually I have to miss the release of xXTheSkipperZz, which for a wedding for my brother, which is okay. But I was looking forward to grinding that out. I didn't realize the date. But anyways, needless to say, I'm back. And when I was first playing this game at the start of the year, I made a video about how I was enjoying Black Ops 7, but coming back to it, and I don't know if it was a time off or if it's just Black Ops 7 in general, but I honestly think, and this is maybe a crazy take to some people, considering all the hate that this game has gotten and the low numbers, and I think it's just Call of Duty as a whole, with like low sales and low player count. But more specifically for zombies, I think that Black Ops 7 Zombies is probably the best zombies, if not top 2 behind B03. It's very close for me, and I honestly think people don't give it enough credit. Like, first off, if you compare like B07 back into the older CODs, yes, it is very different. I feel like the older CODs were a lot harder. And that is to be argued. I feel like there are some things here to take note of for B07 that really what I feel like they're trying to do is they're trying to adjust for all player bases, for the hardcore, for the new people, for people that maybe aren't that good. And I think there are so many different options here. And I don't know, for other people's perspective, for my own, I think it's a great idea. I think it may be a little bit too much with all the game modes we got going on, but B07... honestly, with the current state of zombies and how it's been going, I think this is probably the best it's ever been. And this year has honestly been such a great year. So first off, just the playability alone in Black Ops 7. I mean, you got the progression just for your regular level, and I wish they would do it. I believe B03 had it separate from multiplayer, where you could just, like, prestige and stuff for zombies and have, like, special emblems or logos, whatever you want to call it. I think something like that would be cool to bring back, because even for myself, like, as I get older, I started off Call of Duty playing multiplayer only, and I did that for a very long time. Then I started playing zombies slowly more and more, and now it's almost the only exclusive thing I play. And I am very happy with what state we're at with Call of Duty Zombies, and I think it would be cool if they had like a level system like that, just to show off. Be like, that way when you get into a public match, you can be like, okay, this guy plays zombies, he knows what he's doing. Because sometimes people just want to jump in and do Easter eggs with randoms, or, you know, go for high rounds or whatever, just mess around, have fun. And a lot of times, which my biggest gripe is, joining into a match and then people go down and they instantly leave at like round 10. That's like the biggest, probably for everybody, the biggest zombie headache is just people leaving mid-match. But the level progression by itself, you have the augments. I forgot to turn my phone volume off. You got the augment research, which is something to play for too, just to unlock stuff. So if that's something you like to do, just to grind, and then with your camos, augments, level progression, all that stuff. And then you got Gobblegums too, or if you wanted to stock up on Gobblegums on double XP weekend, or just regularly, or whatever. There is so much stuff to play for to keep you busy. And sometimes it does feel like meaningless tasks, busy work, but we didn't used to have that Black Ops 1. Black Ops 2 did have the level up your emblem on your down to kill ratio, round ratio, whatever. But now this is like right in your face. There's so much stuff to do. And then you got your Dark Op challenges, you got your regular challenges. Like, there's just so much stuff nowadays that zombies, honestly, I know it's been rumored and talked about. We'll see if they ever do it, or it could become a standalone game. And I think it's almost to the point where it could happen, and I think that would be so huge, especially if they either continued like the story progression with these characters, or if they just did like a whole new like zombie standalone game with a whole new storyline. I think that would be very interesting to see. But also, we're going to jump over to the maps. Now, the maps in this game, honestly, other than Paradox, and we'll get there in a second, these maps have been super freaking stellar. First off, Ashes of the Dam, probably the greatest start map. And I know this is probably a lot of hot takes, people may not agree with it, but Ashes being the start off map, probably the greatest map 1 that we've ever got. And a lot of people say that it's a top tier map, and which I agree. It's fun. When I first got on Black Ops, I think I did my very first Prestige multiplayer, just because that's what all the fellows were playing. But I would jump back and forth like solo and stuff. But going back and forth and getting familiarized with that map, honestly, it was a blast. I like it whenever they do the bigger maps at launch too, because it gives you so much more to explore. The game is fresh, it's new, you're exploring, you're looking for Easter eggs, which we'll talk about that in a minute as well. But honestly, yes, hands down, top tier map, especially for a launch map. And then Astrum Lorm, honestly, one of my personal favorites. I love the Space Team maps. I went over this in another video I did a while back. It's probably been almost a year now, honestly. But when Astrum Lorm came out, I played the absolute shit out of that map. I loved it so much, the space theme, the vibe, like. And with this game, like, every map is different. It has its own feel. It doesn't seem like copy and paste. Like B06, I didn't mind zombies. Like, it was honestly great. I played a lot of B06 zombies, but that one I feel like they used a lot of assets and just reused a lot of stuff, and it just looked kind of bland. Like, every map had like a very similar theme, like a factory regime type setting, but this one feels very unique. So we start off with Ashes, then jump to space, and then we go to Paradox, which, okay, Paradox isn't a terrible map. I just hate, like, if they're going to reuse maps, I think it should be like a bonus map, like a DLC. It doesn't even tie in with the story. It could just be a different playable thing, because we had it in BO2 and in BO4, and now in BO7. Like, even with multiplayer, there's Nuketown every year. We are tired of Nuketown. We want originality. And I mean, with going back and forth, the Easter egg was pretty cool, but I'm just seeing old maps. We want something new, something creative. But when I first started this year, when Astrum Lorm came out, I said that it was my favorite B07. That has no longer been the case, as Totenreich has taken that spot. Because Totenreich, I think it's a phenomenal map. I wish the Easter egg was a little longer to do. And again, we'll get in that in a second. But Totenreich is just a beautiful map, going from space to Nuketown and then to this winter ice village, and you're fighting this giant boss. I think, like, start to finish, this map is damn near flawless, and it's probably like a top 3 map. It gives me a lot of feel like Horizon Draha, and I know they're not similar in a lot of ways, but just like the feel and like love I had for that map when it came out, like, they just did a phenomenal job. And I know they needed help from another studio to finish it, but honestly, it would be cool to see like the feedback from the community to be like, okay, if we have another studio or a partner helping us create half the maps or working with us on all the maps, just so they have more time and they have ability to do a lot more in the maps, so they're not as rushed. And I think honestly, with the 2-year span before the next Treyarch game, before we get zombies again, because that's what's being said right now, that it might do some good in the next Black Ops 8 or whatever it's going to be. Just might honestly just like blow us out of the water. So all the maps, and then Kwakukujo, which when I first played it, honestly I thought I was going to hate it, because when you first jump in, if you didn't have the location marker underneath your compass playing in standard, I feel like you get lost very easy in the map, because it all kind of looks the same. It all has like that Chinese like room feel to it. All the rooms look the same, but after playing it for a little bit. It's great, and the Easter egg on there is actually really great. But like I said, I don't know that one that well. I didn't have a lot of time with it. I was just trying to rush through it. But watching the videos and the lore on it, very exciting. And honestly, until Rex and Furnace, which I don't think Rex and Furnace is going to be a bad map, I think the maps here have been overall probably the best group of maps in a game, like start to finish complete, that we have ever gotten. And we are so lucky, and I don't understand all the hate that some of them get from players. I don't know if it's just like fatigue or burnout or whatever, but we have been eating pretty good as a zombie community and a zombie fan, zombie player this year, I feel like. Let me know if you disagree with the maps. I know B02's got some of the best maps, but I don't think start to finish it was. Black Ops 3, arguably, I could see the argument for Black Ops 3. But a lot of the other games have, I know we have Nuketown here, but they have other maps in them. We had, what is it called? Tagger Toten reused. We've had Nuketown reused. And then there's just been bad maps like Die Rise and BO2 and just things along those lines. But start to finish here, absolutely, I would put my stamp on it as the best that it has been. Depending on the last map, if not, then maybe BO3, because Revelations was great in BO3. So we'll see if this holds up come tomorrow. Next, Easter eggs. And this is where I kind of like, I don't know exactly what I prefer. I love personally watching the Easter egg hunts and the speedruns on the map. I so badly wish that all the Easter egg hunts could last longer than 6 hours. And I know there's controversy around it, and I don't fully understand it, and I wish we just knew flat out facts instead of speculation. But for an Easter egg to be found out, and you're just sitting there wondering, like, how in the world did you figure this out? How'd you know? Whether people are cheating or not cheating or have leaks or whatever, data mining, I just wish that we'd go back to what Revelations was, where it took hours and days and like weeks to find, because that goes back into the playability thing. Like, people are on playing, they want to find this thing, and it should be hard, and I'm kind of torn between it being like hard to find, easy to replicate type deal. But I also do understand that like some of the old steps made no sense, like didn't go with the map or the story, and I feel like this one just leaned way to one side of where it's like, alright, well, this is what you need to do to build this machine, and then you're good to go on the boss fight, or you need to repair this or build this. I get it, but Zombies has some like supernatural like effects to it, and some maps more than others, but I feel like they either need to add more steps or they need to secure stuff so it's not leaked as fast. Even if, like, for this game, let's say all these steps that they found, like, if they left it alone, but if they just made it harder for people to not leak it or to not find them or whatever, you know what I'm trying to say, just making it more difficult so there's some sort of grind in there, because it just feels like, because what happens, you beat it in a day and then you gotta wait 3 months for the next map, and then this is where a lot of burnout comes in. The excitement kind of dies down. It's hard to keep players in there sometimes, I feel like. So with that, but also with it being found so quick, on the flip side, you have the speedrunners in there. Speedrunner. I know there's always going to be speedruns in there. They could do it anytime the egg is found, but I'm kind of also torn between them being able to speedrun a map in 20-30 minutes solo versus like a longer run for what like an Easter egg boss fight should be. Like, it's very cool to see like all the strats and how they do it so quickly, and like all the near deaths and the fails that they have. But I mean, this caters to everybody. Like, you got the people who don't want to grind. The maps are great, so you don't have to worry about really playing a bad map, and it can be refreshing. You can jump around. Then you get Easter eggs and speedruns and finding it. Like, it's just so good. And then a whole nother topic on its own is cursed. So this is where I can get behind the Easter egg thing. If the Easter eggs are going to be, I feel like I'd feel a different way if the Easter eggs were harder to find with cursed in there. But I think I'm okay with them being easier to find because of the relics and it's basically a whole separate Easter egg on its own to find out how to get these relics. And for some reason, and this is where I kind of scratch my head, is how they figure out these Easter egg steps so fast, and it's where I kind of sort of believe that people are cheating or getting leaks and doing stuff like that with the Easter egg, because they can't apparently find out how to do one or two things to unlock a relic trial. But Cursed, catering more toward like the hardcore players and the people that want to challenge or something else to grind for. Again, playability. There's so much in this game and this package and where we're at that Cursed just, I feel like, is the new game mode to do. Especially because you can do all of that other stuff inside Cursed. If you were like, oh, I'm an old school player, well, you can play Cursed and have that old school feel where your HUD is limited, where your point system's different, everything is different. And then you could play around with it and even make it harder for yourself if you're one for a challenge. So I think the Easter egg and Cursed, if the Easter eggs are going to be easier and shorter to solve and more like new player friendly, where, okay, maybe a new player can go in and you try the Easter egg like 4 or 5 times and then get it, and then they jump over to Curse and it's just super hard for them. But like the hardcore players, they can jump into Curse and do it like no problem, or maybe a little bit more challenge, or they can make it more difficult on themselves. Like, I think this game right now, it caters to everybody. It caters to everybody so well. There's so much to do. I think Curse mode is the mode, and I hope it's here to stay in the future. The only thing that I will say is all the additional modes they have, even the LTMs, and like they're fun to play. But if you have a low player base already and you have Curse standard directed for all your player base, and then you have starting room, you have your rogue run, you have your LTMs, like the player base is going to be so separated. Just for like as a solo player going into pubs and stuff like that, and I know 4 players ain't a lot, get your buddies to do whatever, but I honestly think, one, I think directed should get taken away. I know it's for maybe like if kids are playing or someone that's not good at zombies, it makes sense, but I think if they stick to standard and Cursed and focused and put all their resource and time in it, I think the next game would just be great. But B07 as a whole, favorite game so far for zombies. That and B03 is up there. It's kind of a toss-up, but right now I'm leaning more B07 just because it's also, and this is probably a personal take, but it's a little bit easier just to set up. But I mean, I don't want to go and sweat every zombie game, and then I have the option to also exfil or save and quit now, which is just a nice quality of life feature. But you can play shorter zombie games. Back in the day, if you were going to play zombies, you had to have hour, 2 hour, 3 hours of time just to play a match. But now you can hop in and play, and the ease of it is so nice to have. Like all the quality of life improvements that they've been making. I know people say it feels like Warzone because of armor plates and blah 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 blah, but I disagree with all that. I think B07 currently is zombie game #1 for Call of Duty. But let me guys, ooh, I can't even talk anymore. I've been just rambling on and on and on. But I really want to know what you guys think. If you guys think that B07 holds the top spot, where it ranks in your list, if you think it's trash or if it's great or kind of mid-tier. Because I honestly think it's up there. Definitely top 2. Anyways, guys, hope you guys did enjoy. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.